Wow.
You guys, this is just great. All right, welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Geeks and Flicks Live. Now we're going to be doing we're up to the Vacations, National Lampoon's Vacations franchise. We got 5 films we're going to review here with Derek from Pure Hangout. But before we do, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate, so how you been?
Oh, pretty good. Busy. I feel like I'm busy lately. I'm not an unbusy person, but I'm also not a super busy person. I feel like I've been super busy over the last few weeks. Maybe you could tell because we usually communicate a lot. And there's some days where I'm like, I can't even, like, work is kicking my butt or I got to do something. So holidays are coming. I'm hoping for a little peace. Got some days off coming up. So we'll get back to not so busy, but busy. How about you?
I've been doing pretty good. Did pretty good. I did my Rocky run. I did my first ever Rocky run. Yeah, in Philadelphia. I ran the same, not the same length as Rocky, but I ran the scenery that he ran in.
The same route.
The same route, yeah. And then it finished on the museum. You don't run up the steps, but you finish right in front. And then once you get your medal, you could go upstairs and take a photo like he did. And I did. Took a photo with my wife over Philadelphia. It was pretty cool. I didn't take a photo with. What do you call it? I didn't take a photo with the statue because I always go to Philadelphia just to go to the steps. Because if you go through, you got to stop by the Rocky Steps and do some stuff. But I didn't do it because it was a long line. But I'm definitely going to be doing it next year, 2025. It's pretty cool. It was fun. I liked it. Something different and new. But other than that, I wanted to open up the show with this. We didn't give our thoughts on this. We lost 2 people. We lost David from Faces for Radio. He passed away. Yeah. And we lost another Geeks and Flicks community Patreon. And we lost David McGuire to cancer. Yeah. And it was a day apart. One died in the nighttime, I believe. And then David died in the morning sleeping. So it's really hard because I didn't want to open up the rankings with this stuff. Because I wanted to do like a different live show. But I think it's best.
It's good to do it now.
Yeah,
because we haven't had a chance to really share too much. We did, the live stream. We jumped on with Rich, his partner, David's partner from Faces for Radio, and our friend. And just to give quick thoughts, David McGuire first. I don't know if you guys all remember him. I know he was a coworker of Jay Manley from the chat. They worked together. He's the one who introduced him to us. He was one of our Patreon members. He won a trivia contest. Yep. So he was one of our winners. He won the Godfather box set. He was super nice guy. He actually reached out to me a few weeks ago before he passed. And he was like, hey, just checking in, I'm sure Jay told you, but whatever. And he shared some stuff. And I was like, hey, man, I'm praying for you, hoping everything works out. And then unfortunately he passed. But I didn't know him a lot, but every interaction I had with him, super nice guy, very kind. And then David, of course, other David, 4K Lowdown. That was tough. It happened all so fast in such a short period of time, from when he was on our show, he was on our podcast. And, and it's interesting because, like, I remember we were recording, he was coughing a lot. He was coughing. And then, like, literally 2 weeks later, he told us about his diagnosis and everything, and really sad. And just, my thoughts are with his wife, his kids, his grandkids, one of the coolest guys, one of the nicest guys, and he'll be missed. They'll both be missed. So that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yeah, it hit me harder because me and Dave talked a lot. Not Dave McGuire, the Faces for Radio Dave. And because, his, I always get confused, but I think it was a granddaughter or something like that has autism. And that's how we bonded. That's how we talked because I have 2 kids with severe autism. So me and Dave talked a lot through text and stuff. And then we have our text group and we all talked. So when Rich told me, he told the group, it hit me harder. And because we talked a lot about, our kids, and he was so happy with his granddaughter and stuff. So it's going to be, he's going to be missed. Right. Yeah. So I wanted to figure out something to keep him in our shows, in our memories. Yeah. So I came up with something that would be fun for me, you, and whoever sits down in a part like Derek coming up. And I came up with something I think it would be fun for us. And it's
Okay.
going to be called, going on forward, is going to be called the High Five Lowdown, where me, you give our 5 positive stuff that we did during the week, what we watched, whatever we did, and pretty much is dedicated to David.
I like that.
And his thing. So it's the High Five Lowdown, our lowdown, but it's named after David. And we give our 5 positives. So like my positive was I did the Rocky run. I got my PlayStation Pro today. I freaking I took my Christmas photo with my kids, and it's hard for us to do Christmas photos is because my 2 kids don't sit down because of the autism. They just freak out. But we actually took a nice one today. So again, it's actually so yeah. Going forward, we're gonna do that. We're gonna continue, and I want people to know me, David, and Rich. We had an awards show that we used to do every year, and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna do it this year also.
It was the Geeks with Faces for Radio Awards.
Yeah.
We're still going to be doing that with Rich, and maybe we could get another person to volunteer. It was good with 4. You have to have 4.
Yeah.
So maybe we can find someone who's, who would be interested in volunteering, kind of tough shoes to fill. David won 2 years in a row. He had the most amount of wins.
Yeah,
so,
he did.
He was the king of it. So, it's big shoes, but we plan to continue to do that. And I know Rich wants to keep, doing stuff with Faces for Radio and everything. So just reach out to him too, because that was his really close friend. So it's tough.
It's really hard, especially when you lose a coworker and a great friend. But he was good to everyone in the community and stuff like that. So with that said, prayers to his family and stuff. And we do have a show to go on, so we have to on we go. So let's bring in David. David.
No, not David.
With me? Not David. I'm not bringing him. I'm bringing Derek from Pure Hangout. If he has some stuff to say, he can say. If he cross paths with David from Faces for Radio, it's up to him. But let's bring him in. Derek.
Yes.
There he is. Hey,
There
buddy.
he is.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me on.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Not too bad. Busy week. Very busy week. But
okay.
yeah, just at work, things piling up. Trying to catch up.
Have you ever talked to David from Faces for Radio?
Probably just cross paths a little bit he was on Instagram.
Yeah. 4K Lowdown.
Yeah, I think through Instagram, 4K Lowdown. Yeah. Yeah, I mean minimally though, but yeah.
All right.
I did hear the news. That was very, very sad.
Yeah. No, it is. All right, so let's get to the vacations. Okay.
Well, let's say hi to everyone in the chat really quick.
Yeah,
All right.
yes,
We
yeah.
got
Hello
Jay.
Hello everyone in the chat.
We got Jay. We got Harrison. We got Jerry. Tony. We got Cal. We got Bin Buster. We got Tiana. What's up, Tiana? We got... That's all we got right now. So hello to everyone in the chat.
Cal Daly.
Yeah, I said Cal.
Oh.
This week, we will want you guys to, just like last week with the Halloweens, if you've seen these movies, of course, rate them along with us. Drop your 2 cents in the chat. Keep it brief so I can read it. And then score with us, rank with us, do all that, and we will go to the chat after we're done with each movie. We'll check the chat.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know.
No. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. All right, so here we go. You guys know how we're going to do this. We're going to do financially. I'm going to run through all the movies financially. And then at the end of everything, now I'm going to ask the guys what they thought about all these money situations in these films. So let's start it all off first from the 83 this one started. The first vacation film, directed by my boy Harold Ramis, Egon. But with that said, domestic, it made $61 million, known to international, worldwide, same as domestic, on a budget of $15 million. All right. Then they said, wow, this actually was a pretty good hit. They came out with a sequel, this time in the European. This one, they gave a $17 million budget. Worldwide, it made $49 million, no international bucks. And then, of course, still successful. If you look at it, now this is the most acclaimed one out of all of them. Once I say it, you guys gonna agree. The one that's most watched every Christmas is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. On a $25 million budget, they gave more money on the worldwide of $74 million. On international at $18,000, which is pretty much nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, pretty much nothing. So they greenlighted another one. Now this time they went to Vegas. They went to vacation for the 4th one here. For another $25 million budget, worldwide $36 million. Didn't do as well as Christmas. And then, of course, they said, you know what? Let's put that in the shelf for a bit. But they brought it back in 2015 with a semi-soft reboot, continuation soft, soft reboot there. And they pretty much continue the story. This one is on a $31 million budget. And it made a worldwide of $107 million. Now, when you pretty much...
Wow.
That's a big... made a lot of money, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
That's a lot more than I would have expected because I felt like that just kind of came and went.
Yeah, it did. It did a lot.
I didn't know it made 107. I saw this at the theater, but I don't remember it being packed or anything.
I never saw it till last week.
There you go. Well,
over this week.
I didn't see it either until this is the first time you watching this movie. To be really honest with you, I was like, ugh. And then, of course, in terms of the entire franchise, this is the rankings of which one they went first. Vacation 2015 came in first, of course, with 107 million. Christmas Vacation in 1989 was 74 million. Vacation from 1983 at 61. European Vacation in 1985 at 49 million. And then Vegas Vacation in 1997 with $36 million. Derek, question to you. Are you shocked with these numbers or the order or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm shocked just by the 2015 one because I didn't hear anybody talk about it. I only remember it coming out, and that was it. Like, I didn't talk to anybody who saw it. I didn't even see it, and I'm a fan of this franchise. I watched it. What was it, Wednesday or something? That was my first time. I'd had the movie for years. Also, found out this movie's almost 10 years old. It'll be 10 years old next year, which I couldn't believe. If somebody would have said, when did the Vacation final film come out? I would have said, maybe like 3 years ago. Maybe 20. I might have guessed like 20.
It was a COVID movie. Maybe.
Yeah, like maybe the year before COVID.
Nate, what do you think?
Yeah, he's not lying because he sent me a DM. He's like, this movie came out in 2015. I was like, yeah, I didn't realize it either. I didn't know it's been 10 years. Okay, couple fun facts here. Am I surprised by any? I'm surprised. Yeah, with 2015, I did not know it made over 100 million. Surprise number 2, Europe. No, the fact that Vegas Vacation had a $25 million budget. We're going to talk about it. That's surprising. And
I bet that was location shots.
It had to be because I got some things to say about it, and that seems kind of high. Also, the 2015, that movie did well, and now that I think about it, not surprising because I know the guy who directed it, and he was one of the writers. He went on to make Game Night after that for Warner Brothers.
Oh.
So I think that being a hit was able to get him that job. So that's interesting. He was the kid who's working the ride at the end, the roller coaster, the one who's like, you guys can't get on last ride. That's the director of the movie as well.
He did actually he directed Dungeons and Dragons.
He's also a director on Dungeons and Dragons. Correct.
Yeah.
Is that Jonathan Goldstein or
John Francis Daly?
Okay.
He was from Bones. He played the psychiatrist in Bones.
And he's on Freaks and Geeks. If you watch that show.
Oh, I did see him.
Yeah,
oh
Freaks and Geeks. He was a little kid.
I saw him for like a second, and I was like, "Was that?" Nah. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you
He's
go.
the director. So that's a little fun fact. Other than that, no, I'm not surprised. I know of these movies. National Lampoon used to be a thing. It wasn't name brand at the time. So, and the first movie, you had not just Harold Ramis, John Hughes was a writer on it.
Yeah.
There was names attached to this. Chevy Chase was popular. So I'm only surprised by the budget of Vegas and the box office total of the 2015 one.
I was very shocked when I was putting these numbers because I thought Christmas would be the highest one out of all of them because that's the one like everyone will reference or talk about. Like, I watched it with my parents when I was a kid. 2015 again, money wise, sure is going to be the highest one. But looking at it, Christmas is on top of all of them. So to me, I'm like that's a plus for me. I was like, okay, cool. But let's talk.
But not as much as you would think. I almost feel like it should be higher.
It should be like at 100.
That still feels pretty modest to me.
Yeah, for the amount of people that watch it so much.
Yeah.
But maybe it's VHS. Growing up.
I bet you
it
did well on home video. I guarantee you, it's made a ton of. It's one of the only two that's on 4K. So clearly, people buy it.
Yeah. Well, that's true. All right, let's have fun. Let's break these down. Let's talk about our thoughts on these damn movies. All right, so look, it's been ages since I've seen this first movie. So I was like, holy crap, even my wife, we were like, all right, we sat down, we put them on. Can't wait to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh. So
Okay.
the other way. There you go.
There you go.
The Ultimate Vacation.
Oh, we got Ultimate
Collection.
Vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just an old DVD thing that they put out. Has them all.
You know, I went to look for that at my local bookstore to see if I could find it for like $5. That way I didn't have to rent 2 of them, and I could not find it. So
Well,
I had to rent them.
I paid $20 for the 4 movies.
Okay.
Those 4 movies. And I was like, you know what? That's actually not bad. $5 a movie if you really think about it. So I was like, I'm okay with it. But okay, let's have fun. Vacation. We already know what the plot is. Takes his family across country to go to Wally World. And during that is a lot of mayhem getting from point A to point B. So, Derek, go first. What was your reaction rewatching this movie?
Okay, so I think growing up, this was probably the second one that I saw. I have the strongest memories with Christmas, as everybody does, I think. But so for me, the shift with the kids, like they weren't the kids that I started out with, but I remember talking with my parents, and they're like, oh well, they swap them out every time because there's also, and then they told me about European, which I saw later, and I was like, they put different kids in every time. It's kind of a joke. And then so that was kind of jarring, but because I knew these were the originals, I was like, oh, okay, this is fine. So it was just kind of jarring at first, but then when my parents explained it to me, it was like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. This is cool. I love seeing John Candy in this. Also, this I like how this is the beginning of something that continues through the entire franchise, which is like the gorgeous woman, that pops up. Knowing the entire franchise, I like spotting those sorts of things, the running jokes that not only are running jokes in the movie, the single movie, but the franchise as a whole. I think that's really fun. But yeah, I like this movie. I think, wasn't it Wally World shot at one of the Six Flags? I don't know if it was the one in up north in Illinois, Gurney, Six Flags Chicago, but I think maybe it was shot in one of the Six Flags, if I remember right. I can't remember, but I do also like. Right. I'm from Illinois. Is that right?
You're right. It's Six Flags Magic Mountain at
California.
Antina Park.
Yeah, that's in California.
That's in California. Okay, so it was a Six Flags, not the Chicago one. Okay, which makes sense because they're a Chicago family, so they wouldn't want viewers to be like, wait a second, you just had to drive 30 minutes. What are you doing? Or an hour, whatever. So that's another thing. I'm from Illinois, so I love that they're an Illinois family, a very Midwest, or trying to make it look Midwest and everything. So I don't know. I grew up liking this movie, so yeah, I think it's really funny. I dig it.
All right, Nate.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm just gonna warn everybody now, and I already saw some people in the chat who said they've never seen any of these movies. So that's interesting.
Oh, wow.
I've never seen 2 of these, so 2 of these were first time watches just for this show, and I grew up with none of these. I didn't watch any of these when I was a kid. So this was the first one I ever saw. And I was in my mid-20s when I saw it. And then Christmas is the second one I saw. And that I literally remember it was like in 2014. And then, and then I saw the new one in the theater. And that's it. And then I've seen them. That's it. So I don't have an extensive backstory. What I will say is I like this movie. This movie's funny. I'm not the biggest Chevy Chase fan, like in general. Like I can't name you like 5 movies he's in that I was like, oh, I love that movie. But this is one that I do really enjoy. I love the song Holiday Road. It's so good. It like fits. I don't know why. It just really, that opening credits is great with all the photos of all the different places and the song playing. I love it. You got Anthony Michael Hall as one of the son, Rusty. Yep. So that was fun. The grandma's funny. There's a lot of good jokes in this. I'm not. Humor is subjective. So literally what I laugh at, Alex might not laugh at, and Derek might go hilarious laughing at, and vice versa for all of us. So for me, this movie's like funny, not extremely funny. Like I never cracked up when I was watching it, but I did
Mhm.
get a lot of chuckles, and I like the characters overall. And there's some good, solid jokes in here. So overall, solid. I enjoy it.
That's how I laugh at it too.
Yeah, like moderate chuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still
Yeah.
love it. But still love it.
Yes.
Well, okay, so it's been a while since I
Speak your truth.
So I haven't seen this in a long time. I did see this one, but again, I seen Christmas first and then this one. Never seen European, and I never seen Vegas. So those were first two, and then I never seen the new one either. So those are like 3 first-time watches. But this one, I gotta admit, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like, I liked it. I thought some of the funny stuff in the movie, I did chuckle, laugh, but then there's some stuff that they just kept continuing doing the same stuff, and I was just like, you're really this stupid, dude? like I was just like sometimes head scratching myself. But Chevy Chase, and I agree with Nate, I'm not crazy with Chevy Chase, but there's some movies that I think he's funny in. Like, I love him in Three Amigos because I think that movie is hilarious. But again, he's with Steve Martin and Martin Short, so those guys are even funnier next to him. But yeah, he's a type of guy that he's like, he's very dry humor. I guess for me, is dry humor. So certain things will land. Like in this movie, some stuff lands, some stuff didn't. And I agree. I did enjoy the movie for what it was, and I liked it a lot. But I felt like towards the end, I started to just go, like the ending was kind of whack. Like I was just like, really? We went all the way to Wally World, and all you did was ride the roller coaster. The SWAT team came, and the movie ends. And I was like, what? Like, you gotta be kidding me. Like and I get it. It was the journey getting to the park. But I just felt like it was just kind of like, I wanted that moment. Like, you know what I mean? John Candy was great. I thought he was really good in the movie. He was mad funny. He was like, you got a BB gun?
Yeah. He's like, it'll break skin.
Yeah. He shot him in the ass. That was mad funny. Yeah. So like that was funny. But and I thought the mom was really good too. Like they had a good chemistry with
Beverly
Chevy Chase.
D'Angelo?
Yes, she had good chemistry with Chevy Chase. So other
And who's the
than
model? Christy Brinkley? Is Christy Brinkley the one in the car?
in the car?
Yeah, isn't that Christy Brinkley?
I think it is in the first movie. I think
Yeah,
so.
the one who's driving in the way they go skinny dipping in the pool.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah,
Christy Brinkley.
Yeah. Christy
Okay.
Brinkley.
Okay.
Gorgeous
Yeah.
supermodel, by the way.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, that running joke is funny. You know what? Okay, since there's some people who've never seen it, we won't do full spoilers. But I will say my thing that made me laugh the most is when they're in the car and like the camera's panning and they're all sleeping and he's also sleeping and the car is just like
going off.
driving off. It makes me laugh every single time. I don't know why. That's probably my favorite. That and when they're in like the hood and the guys are stealing the hubcaps. He's like, go over there, go and talk to that guy because, I don't know. And then whatever. And then they didn't even get directions and they just steal the hubcaps. That makes me laugh too. But anyway, yeah, I like it. It's good.
I like when they met. I like when they met Eddie.
Oh, Cousin Eddie?
Cousin Eddie.
It's a very hit or miss character for me.
When he opens the beer, right, and he's drinking it, and he goes, "Hey, Clark, you want a beer?" He goes, "Yeah." He gave him the one that he drank from.
Oh yeah.
The visual gags they have in these movies are
funny.
so good.
Yeah.
Where it's not even like a verbal joke; it's just all visual gags. They do
Yeah.
really well at that with this franchise.
Yeah.
Like even when he's setting up the vacation and then the kid's like playing video games, like he's trying to eat the car. He's like, hey, don't try to eat the car. And then the sister like shoots it. And he's like, thank you, Audrey, for shooting that. Like little stuff like that is like, that doesn't really make sense, but it's funny. It's like a funny visual. Yeah.
All right. Derek, what do you give this out of whatever ranking you want to do?
Okay, so I'm gonna go out of 5 here, and I think I'll probably give this 4. It's I think one of the best ones, but it's also not my favorite. So that's kind of why.
All
like
right,
that.
Nate. What you got out of 10?
Yeah, we're close. I have a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I think it's a good, solid 80s comedy. And I don't love 80s comedy. I'm not going to lie. I like 90s and on more. But this one, it does make me chuckle. 7 out of 10.
I gave this one a 4. I thought it was great. I thought it's still, again, the jokes don't land as much, but I thought like to me, it did. For some reason, like I was like, I didn't laugh at this, but then his stupid facial expressions and him with the other people, I thought it worked very well. I was like, oh, especially with the grandma.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. So I was like, okay, that was pretty cool. So yeah, I give it a 4.
Okay.
And that's out of a 3-star ranking, right?
No, a 3. If it was a 3-star,
a 4 out of a 3.
I'll give it a 3-star. This one, a 2.
You're going 4.
That's some backstage humor right there.
Yeah.
Yes. 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 7 out of 10. Let's go to the chat real quick. Bin Buster, I would buy this entire franchise in 4K. Tony says, I love watching National Lampoon movies and reading the magazines. Tiana says they should do a 4K box set. Harrison says, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. Hopefully none of the crazy stuff that happens to the Griswolds happens to us. I agree, Harrison. Good luck. Godspeed. Tony says Vacation is an all-time comedy classic. Ben says Holiday Road. They typed it. I can name 4 movies that he loves Chevy Chase in, and 3 are in this franchise. Tony gives this a 9 out of a 10. Chevy Chase is great in Caddyshack. Yes, I'm just trying to catch. It was Christy Brinkley they were confirming. Harrison says Chevy Chase is one of my favorites. He likes Fletch, Funny Farm, Three Amigos, and Caddyshack. All great.
Okay. Fletch is so good. Both of them.
Haven't seen them. So maybe I need to check them out. And then 8 out of 10 for Bin Buster for this one. Jay, 3.5 out of 5. And Corey. Oh, what's up, Corey? Corey says, these are always fun ones. And Scottish Geek Guy. What's up, Scottish Geek Guy? He says, howdy, folks. So we got a couple new people coming in.
Howdy.
4 as we go along. You guys are doing great.
All right, so 1985, they decided to greenlight a sequel, and they brought back the Griswolds. And, of course, they changed the daughter and the brother. They were played by different actors and actresses. Now, European Vacation, they win the Oink Oink Pink Pink contest.
That weird pig game.
Yeah, that stupid pig game in the beginning. They win the trip to go to Europe. And then during there, there's like mayhem happens. And then there was like these robbers and assassins. I don't know. This is just weird storylines. But Derek, I'll let you go with this. Kick it off. What do you thought of rewatching European Vacation?
Yeah, I was like never really a fan of this one. And remember that whole thing I was saying with the kids?
Yeah.
So I grew up with first knowing the kids from Christmas and then eventually from Vacation. But when my parents explained it to me, I was like, okay, these are the originals. So I'm okay with it. I'm familiar with Christmas. And then I get to know Vacation and I'm cool with it because they're the first. But then when I'm introduced to these kids, I don't like them. I'm like, no, I don't like these kids. And the daughter, I think she's actually passed away now, but the daughter, Audrey, in this one, I don't know. I think she probably did voice acting because she sounds like a lot of cartoons that I feel like I remember growing up with in the 80s. And I couldn't, get that out. Like, who is she? Who's she voicing from my childhood? I mean, there are still some great jokes in it. I can't remember what it's called, but that like roundabout thing that they get stuck on. That part's hilarious. He's like, look, Big Ben, and he's pointing out all the landmarks. I think this was the first. No. Okay. I remember watching this one on VHS, renting it, and then I remember there's nudity in it, and I was like, oh dang, because Christmas there's no nudity, and then I think when I saw Vacation, maybe it was on television the first time or something, so that quick little Beverly D'Angelo nudity in that one is it's very quick, or maybe I saw it on TV, so it was cut. But I remember watching this one and I was like, oh my goodness, look at this. They've really changed things here. During the, what was it? The Austria, Germany,
burlesque show looking thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That part always stood out to me too when I was a kid, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been that big of a fan of this one other than the roundabout. That part always stuck out as really good. But again, how they won the trip, I don't like that thing at the beginning. It seems a little too over the top, a little too silly. Not saying the other movies aren't silly, but that one just felt too far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you
didn't
like it?
Nah.
Weird. AKA you didn't like it. All right, Nate, what you got?
All right. So, fun fact here. This is one of the two that I've never seen before. Another fun fact, I did not know this was the second one. I thought this was the third one. So I actually watched them in the order of Vacation, Christmas Vacation, European Vacation, and then Vegas because I thought this was the third, and it's not.
This one looks the oldest too, I think.
It does. It looks older than the first one. So I don't know. Derek, I'm glad that you said it first because I hated Audrey in this movie. I hated the way she yelled. I hated
everything was a yell.
Yeah,
Everything.
all the time. She's obsessed with the guy back at home. Okay, and it was William Zabka from Karate Kid. That was kind of funny because we just did the Karate Kid franchise not that long ago. But I did not like her at all. I didn't like Rusty either. And like you mentioning that it was a running joke with changing out the kids, I feel like they really acknowledged that in Vegas, which we'll get to. But if not, it just makes no sense. Like these kids are all different ages. They look totally different from movie to movie. Sometimes sometimes Rusty's the older brother. Sometimes he's the younger brother. I'm like, what's going on with these movies? Anyway, I don't like this movie. I did not like it. And it's weird because this is directed by Amy Heckerling, who, if you don't know who that is just by name, she directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High. She directed Clueless, which I love. So she's done like big like comedies. So she's not a bad choice. But this is the one, Alex, where the jokes for me really fell flat. I barely laughed in this movie. You know what part made me laugh? When they walk out of that store dressed like in those crazy outfits that they buy.
Oh, yeah.
That made me like that whole scene made me laugh because like they ended up picking those ridiculous clothes and they're walking down the street like they look so nice. I like that. And other than that, I mean, this is the last time it's R-rated until the reboot. All of a sudden it goes like PG, which is also weird, but I don't know.
But it worked down, I think.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I did not like this one. I was not a fan.
Yeah, this is the first time you're watching this movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I never seen European Vacation. So I sat it on, I put it on, and I was like, all right. This is a piece of crap. It is a piece of crap. Like, dude, I was literally on my phone going, when did this end? Like, I was just like, how long is this thing? And I'm pausing it, looking at the time shrinking. I was like, it was horror. Like, there was no enjoyable parts. I felt like they were trying to stretch the jokes from the first movie in this one. I agree with Derek. The kids here are horrible. Oh, we gotta go back to Chicago because he's gonna be with Beth or whoever the hell that girl is. And then she starts eating, that scene with the eating. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, that was horrible. Rusty was, I don't know. It's just the kids were not memorable in this movie. The plot line was so horrible.
It was weird.
It was weird. It didn't work as the first movie. The whole point of the first movie. Chevy Chase was funny at times, but it was just like he was stupider than he was in the first movie. Like, way more dumber. And I was just like, I'm not getting this. And the Beverly, and then the wife, I felt like she was okay, but they were trying to give her more jokes in this one. And I was just like, nah, it did not work for me. I like her when she was just the wife. Then,
like the straight character.
Yes.
Primarily.
Yeah.
Especially in the first one. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, she was just like,
it was good for him to bounce off of rather than they're both kind of kooky.
It makes no sense. It's just like, okay, so you got two stupid characters just feeding off each other, whereas one is just a normal one out of the two. So I was just like, this does not work for me. But yeah, I did not like this one at all. And once it was done, I'm like, this is never getting watched again on my OLED. I had to clean it. That's how horrible it was.
Clean your TV.
I had to clean my TV.
Wipe the TV down.
I just remembered the one part that made me laugh. I did laugh. I actually laughed was with the daughter, which Audrey, when she's on the phone and she calls back to America and she's trying to call, I don't know if she's trying to call him or Beth, one of them, or whatever the girl's name was. And she's like, no, I can hold. And then she's waiting. And then she just says, like, under her breath, she's like, bitch. That part made me laugh so hard. Because, like, it was like this. I thought the scene was going to end and then he popped it in and then it ends. And I did laugh. That did make me laugh. It's the only time she didn't yell. So it was like really good. Other than that, I didn't really laugh.
All right, Derek, what is your score for European Vacation from 1985?
I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one just a 1 star. I'm just gonna give it a 1. I don't like it, and I like it. Really only receives the star because it's a part of the franchise. Chevy Chase is, still Chevy Chase. I'm a big fan of his as well. My dad is an enormous fan of his, so I grew up watching a lot of Chevy Chase. So it gets a star because Chevy Chase is in it.
All right, Nate, what you got?
3 out of 10. 3 out of 10.
Out of 10.
I did not like it. It was not good. I'm not glad I watched it third. I wish I watched them in order because then at least I would have had Christmas after this. I watched them in the wrong order, got the 2 right out the way, and then it was all downhill after that. So 3 for me.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 1 out of a 5. This is a piece of crap. Like, there was no qualities here that could save this movie, like, at all.
Right.
Like, I couldn't. So,
Right,
go ahead,
let's
Nate,
go to the
anything?
chat. Yes, Bin Buster says Eric Idle is amazing in European Vacation. That's the guy who just keeps getting hit by the car and stuff, right?
Yeah. He was all right.
Okay. Scottish Geek guy says I saw European and Xmas Vacation like 20 times before I saw the original. I didn't even know there was an original as a kid. That's hilarious. He said, yeah, large roundabouts here in the UK, they're no joke. So that's real life. Tony says she was the voice of Jerry in the Tom and Jerry movie. Audrey. She was also the voice of Max from Goof Troop. So if you grew up watching Goof Troop, she's Max.
And she was the daughter of Darkwing Duck.
From.
Oh, her too?
She was the daughter of Darkwing Duck. Yeah.
Good call, Derek. She definitely did a lot of voice acting.
I know. I grew up with this voice. I knew it.
Yeah. I knew the voices.
It was unique. All right.
But it's better for a cartoon, not for a human.
True.
Agreed. Harrison says European Vacation is such a fever dream. I will say the roundabout joke is hilarious. My city keeps building them, and it's just as ridiculous. They're a terrible way for moving traffic. Jay
they
said
scare me.
Jay said this had some laugh out loud laughs, but didn't hit like the first one.
Yeah.
Tony says European is a great follow-up to the first film with some great laughs, and I love the guy that keeps popping up and getting hurt by he's talking about Eric Idle.
Yeah.
He gave this an 8 out of 10. Classic Tony. Gotta love it. Ben Buster says I like the franchise, but this one is one of the worst for me. Tony says so shocked you guys hated this film. I love you. I don't know why you're shocked, Tony, but okay. Ben Buster says
Tony.
I love Tony too. He's the best. And then Ben Buster says 4.5 out of 10 for him, and Jay says 1 out of a 5. So he's with you guys.
All right, well, let's go. 1989. They decided to greenlight a sequel because guess what? It's making money.
It made money.
They made Christmas Vacation in 1989. Now, this is the most beloved vacation film that everyone enjoyed watching and still do. So, with that said, Derek, start it off. What did you think?
Well, this one with that little animated segment at the beginning, being a little kid watching that, loved it. I don't know if you ever watched the movie City Slickers. That movie does the same thing. That was kind of like a little trend for a while. I mean, I don't even think it was like a 80s, 90s thing. It probably started even earlier. But I remember, growing up when my dad's first introducing this to me, really, I always thought that segment was really cool. Also, we get the return of Cousin Eddie. Cousin Eddie is not in European Vacation, but he shows up in this one and in a lot of ways steals the show. Clark is still amazing, but some of the most quotable lines come from Eddie for this one. I think the kids are great here. This is where the age shifts, where Rusty is the younger brother instead of the older brother.
Yep.
And both of them went on to become big stars. Which is cool. So it's an all-star cast. Yeah, Juliette Lewis and
Johnny Galecki.
From I know him from Roseanne, but I know he did something.
He was on recently Big Bang, and he was in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Remember that?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's the hook in the chin. Yep.
So yeah, the cast is amazing, and also speaking of animated voices, the grandma who sings the Star Spangled Banner and does the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
She's the voice of Betty Boop. Like when she was super young, she's the voice of Betty Boop.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like all those older the grandparents, all of them are, famous in their day. Like
what do you mean?
Those are all like big deal people from back in the day.
Well, not really.
So
Doris Robertson is Everybody Loves Raymond's mom, Marie.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Ladd,
that's right.
something Ladd is in this. One of the what's that
Ladd?
lady's name? Something Ladd. Yeah, her last name is Ladd. She's in this too.
No, I don't see that.
Diane.
Diane Ladd?
Is,
Yes,
is
I
it
guess she
Diane
is.
Ladd?
Yes,
Yeah.
Diane Ladd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a famous one too. Like Alan Ladd. I think Alan Ladd was her dad, maybe,
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know. They're like a famous acting family as well. I'm sure Harrison's
Right.
gonna pop in here and tell us because he's the history guy. But,
Yeah. And
yes.
Julia
Yeah.
Louis Dreyfus. Drew, whatever her name
Julia
is.
Louis Dreyfus was the neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
Seinfeld.
right.
But go
Yeah,
ahead.
so it's like
You
the
can go.
only
Sorry.
person. I mean, maybe Julie Louis Dreyfus's husband in the movie. Maybe he's famous, but I don't know. He's like the only guy I like don't know in this. Like everybody's famous in it. But yeah, I love this one growing up, just as everybody else did, except you, Nate. You.
Didn't see it. Was late to this one.
But yeah, we got the running joke again with the hot woman that comes in. What I like about this one is, and maybe I gotta know, they're all kind of this way, but I like how dumb Clark is and how aloof he seems, but he also has an edge to him, and I feel like he especially does in this one because the family's irritating him so much. So there's a lot more anger in him, I think, throughout rather than just the end. Which is, kind of the trope where he blows up at the end, but you kind of see it all throughout, and I like that he's way there's more edge to him here in this one, and grit. Like I love the scenes when he's at work, where he makes the varnishes for cereals and things like that. The way he like talks to those people, and you can tell how he thinks about them all. I like that stuff. But yeah, this one's great, and I guess I'll score it at the end.
All right, Nate, what you got?
Okay. Like he said, did not grow up with this one. Did not see it till I was a man. So this was interesting. This was only like maybe my second or third time watching it. I remember me and my sister and my brother and my cousin, we all got together back years ago, and we were like, let's watch Christmas movies, and none of us had seen it. None of us. So we're like, let's watch it. So we all watched it together. I find it funny. It does not have that status that it has with most people for me because I did not grow up watching it. So to me, this is not like an all-time Christmas movie that I watch every year or anything like that. Can I see why people do? Yes. It's just not one that I do because I didn't see it a lot when I was younger. So I think if I did, it probably would be. It's funny. This is also the only one where they don't actually go on a vacation. They're just home. Other people come to their house. So
yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
They're the
about
ones that
it.
are on
flipped the
vacation.
script there.
Yeah. There's a lot of good running jokes throughout the movie. There's a lot of good setups, like funny setups, like the lights, the thing with the lights, how they keep like a lot of the jokes in this are like really sort of stretched out, right? Like they keep going. It's not a lot of super funny dialogue. It's more situational. It's more slapstick, way more slapstick than the first two movies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people falling and blowing up and stuff flying through places. Listen, the sled scene makes me cry laughing every time. Guaranteed when he's spraying the stuff. He's like, he goes like a bullet. Like it makes me laugh so hard. Yeah.
Back to remember I was talking about sight gags. I love that later that comes back, like you said, they drag these things out. And we see, that's hilarious when he's sledding down. But then later, Eddie, when he's next to the sewer, he like pulls up the sled and it has a hole through it. And they like bring that back to you. This is what it ends up looking like. And I love nothing said right there, but it's a sight gag and it brings you back to that sledding joke.
Yeah. Or Cousin Eddie dumping his sewage in the sewer. And then later on, the sewer has it's like toxic waste. It's green. And then the fireball. Like it's a lot of good, really funny setups, and the punchlines are physical humor rather than like jokes. So different style, very funny. Even the funniest line to me at the beginning is when they're at the tree and the mom is like, oh, they're looking at it and they show Juliette Lewis and she's just like frozen. And then she goes, she'll see it later, honey. Her eyes are frozen. It's so funny. Yeah. So I think this movie's really, really good. Again, not a Christmas classic for me, but I do think it is a great, funny Christmas movie.
I love that they remember they forgot the saw
Mhm.
So they
Yes.
had to uproot that tree somehow, that frozen ground. They dug it up with their hands. And then there's, again, another sight gag where you just see the roots all on the bottom of the tree as it's driving off.
Yes.
Oh, so
Oh,
smart.
it's funny.
I love this movie. We always watch it in my house. Like it's just this. I didn't buy Vacation on 4K. This one I brought in 4K because we watch Vacation a lot. So I love this movie. It's just so funny for me. I can sit down watching it all the time and start laughing, especially when he puts the light bulb and he's crying. He's like, "Mom, this is the greatest day ever," and you're here. He kisses her and he goes, "Dad, because of you, this happy kissing." He goes, "Eddie," and he goes, "Eddie." I said, "Clark, I hope you did not do this for me, Clark, because this means a lot."
Yeah.
That was one of the best cinematic entrances ever.
He's just
The
there.
way he came in.
Yeah. He goes,
Yeah.
It
"Clark,
was so good.
this is beautiful." And he goes, "Eddie, it's a good thing you're here." But the funny line though with that, right? And they go, "Oh, this is Mary Sue." And he goes, "Yeah, her eyes were closed, got kicked by a donkey, and they went straight." I don't know. He's like, "I don't know." Oh God. Like,
Yes.
Are you
this-
serious, Clark?
Yeah. Oh,
So
that
many
was
great
funny.
lines.
Yeah. I mean,
He steals the show.
when they cut the chicken, he goes, "Oh, this thing looks as good
Oh,
as
the
it
turkey.
tastes."
And it just goes,
It's just dry.
oh my gosh. It's like crunching when they're eating it. It's like crunching sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there's the thing with this movie that I love about is like it's like Derek said. This is the first time you see everything fall apart in front of him, and he's starting to build up towards the end. And then what sends him over the edge is the jelly of the club month.
Oh,
the thing.
Jelly of the Month Club.
Yeah.
The bonus. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Eddie goes, "Oh, this is the gift that keeps on giving, Clark."
Yes. That is
Oh.
a
And it's
good
just
line,
the
too.
gift certificate. Like it's like
Yeah.
a percentage off. It's not even free for a
it-
year.
Yeah, and it's just a great movie. Like I don't know, to me, it's up there. Well, I mean, it's not like the classics that everyone know with these old actors, and you know what I mean, like this great designs and clothing and production, and you know what I mean. This is to me is just is top 100, top 50 greatest Christmas movies out there. Because I mean, I bet we could all make a list and we all have like all different, but I guarantee you some of the ones that we all love will all be there, but just in different numbers.
I'd wager to call it probably top 20 on most people who have
Yeah.
seen a lot of
Yeah.
Christmas movies.
A
Honestly,
lot of
Yeah.
families watched it.
Yeah, it's
so
good.
many.
And you know what I like about it too, that we talked about it earlier. It's PG, but it's edgy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's PG, but barely. It's not R, but it's still not. It's not like Vegas, which we'll get to in a minute, where
Yeah.
it's so turn like mild compared to the first two. This one was like a transition. Like, all right, we're not going to be R, but we're still gonna have a little raunch in there, a little like the lady who works at the hot lady that Derek was referencing earlier, and then he sees her at the pool in his imaginary pool, and it's like, well, this is getting kind of, there's not nudity, but it's not, so it's good. Like you could still watch it with kids, maybe just like cover their eyes a little bit, like or at the department store. She's like, you can't see the lines. Look, and then Rusty comes over. He's like, can you see the lines? No.
So
Yeah, it's good.
So you're mentioning the ratings. Did they reevaluate these? Because I have Vacation is R, European is PG-13.
Oh, it was R.
Christmas is PG-13.
Christmas is
And then-
PG-13. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Vegas is PG.
Correct.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay.
Christmas is PG-13, but European is R.
Yeah.
The one I watched was R. There's a lot of F
Yeah.
words and boobs.
Right.
So, I don't
I know
know.
that's what I'm remembering. So I wonder if what I have here is like a
Edited.
recut or a reevaluation or something.
Yeah.
You got the European cut. It's PG-13 over there.
Right. Oh, actually, I'm trying to remember. So when did that one come out? Because maybe PG-13 didn't exist when it came out, so it might have been
They
reevaluated.
re-rated it as that? Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. You know, it's the other funny thing I love about Clark in this movie that he always kills his wife when he sees hot women. He's like, they're like, oh, you picking up something for your wife? He goes, well, my wife died. He always kills his wife. I was like, it's mad funny. But anyway,
He's
she
like,
was
well, she's
cute,
not
too.
dead. We're getting a divorce. We're
Yeah.
divorced or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, and when he's stumbling about all the words, he's like, man, it's kind of nipple out here. I mean, nipply. Yeah, mad creepy, but yeah, it was funny. But anyway,
Yes,
all
it
right,
is
Derek,
funny.
what do you give the score on Christmas Vacation?
So this is the one I give a 5. Perfect Christmas film for me and my family. It has a lot of nostalgia to it, and I think it's super funny in a lot of ways. Some dialogue, some visual gags. It's great. Great cast too. The cast
Oh, yeah.
is phenomenal.
All right, Nate, what you got?
All right, don't kill me, guys. I do really
And
like this
heartfelt.
movie, but again, not near and dear to my heart or anything, but very good. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, that's not
I
bad.
like it. Yeah, I think it's really good. I have a couple of problems with it where it's like this. It gets a little too slapsticky, but only a few times. Overall, I laugh a lot.
Well, he has the squirrel. He's like, ah! They run up the stairs with the squirrel in his back.
Which is a really funny joke because we like
That's funny.
Florida. I don't know if we have more than anyone else, but squirrels are like. You can't go a day without seeing 50 squirrels here. So like the fact that they're freaking out about them, like, well, I see squirrels all the time. I mean, not in my house, but I mean, still. Like,
Yeah, not in
everywhere.
the house.
I just thought that was funny though, because they all turn around and he's on his back and he's like, ah! And he start running. But
That was
anyway, I
funny.
gave this a 5 out of a 5. I think it's a perfect Christmas movie, and I think it's still funny. It holds up. But all right, what is the
Very
audience
good.
say?
All right. Kicking it off with Harrison. He just drops a quote. He said, "You serious, Clark?" Jay says, "The animation reminds me of the Pink Panther." That's right. Remember they did the
Pink Panther,
animated
right? Yeah.
Pink Panther. Juliette Lewis was Audrey. Yep, that's Bin Buster. See, Harrison, I knew he'd come through. Diane Ladd. She was in Chinatown. And E.G. Marshall, another one of the old guys, was in 12 Angry Men, a classic. So yeah, you guys called it. They got like some classic.
They got legit
actors
people,
here.
yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus' husband was Christopher Guest. Is that who played him?
Oh, no way. It was?
No, the guy from Princess Bride? I only remember him from Princess Bride. I know he directed like Dog
Like
Show
Jamie Lee
or
Curtis's
Best in Show.
husband?
Yeah, I guess. Someone.
What?
I believe Bin Buster because he loves this franchise. She said it was
How
Christopher
have I
Guest.
never picked up on that? That is wild. I love Christopher Guest films, but I always think of him more of as a director.
He's the guy who does the
Nicholas Guest was
Isn't
Todd
he in
Chester.
Princess Bride? He's marriage is a thing. That's Christopher Guest, isn't it?
And that's who Julia Louis-Dreyfus's husband is in that movie?
Correct. The
It's
guy.
Nicholas Guest.
Oh.
Not Christopher. It's Nicholas.
Oh, okay. All
I was
right.
like, how
He
is
Let's
is
take it back.
known. He is known for Trading Places, Christmas Vacation, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and Asteroid Boy.
Not Christopher Guest.
What?
All right. Well, sorry, Ben, but you got us the last name. Bin Buster saying, "Seeing Cousin Eddie's kids with Santa gets me every time." Tony says, "I love National Lampoon Christmas Vacation and is my favorite Christmas movie classic. I love all the crazy stuff that happens at the end, and Cousin Eddie is always great. 9 out of 10 for Tony." Bin says, "Good thing you didn't watch Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure."
Oh,
That's right.
I never
We
watched
talked
it.
about it before. It made me laugh. He said it sucked. Okay. Jay says, "Them eating the dry turkey had me cracking up." Bin gives this a 9 out of 10. He likes the blessing. Remember when they do the blessing scene?
Yeah.
He said the cat in the tree is fun. The sap joke makes him laugh as well.
The cat under the what is it? The lazy boy, and you hear zap.
Oh yeah,
and then
he gets electrocuted. It's like the outline. All right. Jay says, "Don't you have a punch bowl set, Alex?"
I have the moose heads. I have the 12 moose.
Oh, yeah.
The moose heads to drink.
Oh, the
My
little,
dad
like
has
what they drink the
those.
eggnog out of?
Yeah, I'll have it for Christmas when we do our Christmas stuff. I'll have the eggnog.
They're just for you, Jay. They will make an appearance. Cal says, "This wouldn't make a top 15 Christmas movie on my list.
No?
So dry, I can't get into it. I respect y'all that like it, though." Okay, so Cal, not a fan of this movie. Jay says, "That's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark." The ratings were different in the 80s. Jay gives this a 5 out of 5. Cal gives this a 6 out of 10. His brother Caveman is here. What's up, Caveman?
Hey, what's up,
He
Caveman?
says, "Hey,
Yeah,
everyone, hit that
Caveman.
like button. Yes, if you wouldn't mind, just drop a like while you're watching. If you're having a good time, And that's it. That's all the ratings for this one.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Came out in 1997, I believe. This is the last one out of the 4 starring Chevy Chase, and it's Vegas Vacation. Now, I never seen this movie. Nate never seen this movie, so this is gonna be fresh takes for us. All right, Derek, kick it all off. What did you think?
As
of
the only
last
one who has seen it. What,
Yeah,
what did
the
you
only
think?
one that's seen it.
Yeah, I think I might have even watched this one in the theater. And if it is, it's the only one that I saw in the theater. I feel like I have vague memories of seeing this one in the theater. And I always liked this one. I was a really big fan of Ethan Embry as a kid, and I guess still today, anytime I see him, I'm the Leonardo DiCaprio, spotting him. I'm like, all right, Ethan Embry's in this. This is gonna be good. And so him becoming Rusty was like cool to me. I was like, man, this is awesome. He's cool. I don't know who Audrey played Audrey. Like
Marisol Nichols is the actress.
Yes.
Okay.
Marisol Nichols, yeah.
What do we know her from? Anything else? Like
She was in TV. I know she was on TV. She was in the Spiral movie that me and Alex just did with the Saw franchise rankings. She was the police chief.
She was in 24.
24.
She was in Riverdale.
Riverdale, that's the one.
Nothing really I watched, I guess. But
no, everything.
She was still pretty good too in this. What I like about this one, I've always loved this one. And what I like, Rusty kind of, I don't know, he seems like he has almost a bigger part in this one, or at least he has a running gag of just like winning constantly in Vegas, but he's underage. He's not even supposed to be gambling. And I like how that pays off at the end, that he, is gambling underage for them. And I also like how they kind of flip things where Clark is, always seeing the hot woman. In this one, Beverly D'Angelo, she's seeing Wayne Newton all the time. So it's in a way kind of flipped a little bit, because she's like in love with Wayne Newton, and he has the hots for her. And this is making Clark all, a little bit of jealousy on his end. But yeah, this one also has Eddie in it, and I love his thing. Their Clark and Eddie's interaction in the buffet line.
Oh,
I love that scene. I love that scene. And it reminds me of when they're shopping together in Christmas Vacation. Like they're kind of mimicking that, I think, is what they're doing. Remember when they're pushing the cart and all that, shopping for the kids? I love that buffet line and how like gross all the food is. And Eddie's like, give me some of the blue.
Yellow.
Or the
give
yellow.
me some of the yellow.
The yellow chicken.
Give me some of the yellow.
The blue was beef.
Yeah.
Why is it blue?
It's just colors.
Yeah.
Give me
some of the yellow. That's a great line.
Yellow.
Honestly, it made me laugh.
Oh man, yeah, that I think might have been the biggest laugh out loud moment for me is that, and I love how that holds up. But yeah, I've always been a fan of this one. I like this one quite a bit.
Oh
wow,
right.
I like that.
What you got?
I like that you like this movie. I hated this movie. I really did not like it. And this is why when we were talking about the budgets, and you said this will cost $25 million or 30 million, whatever it was.
25.
This looks like a TV movie. It is filmed like a TV movie. It does not look like it even came out in the theater. I'm not lying. And as someone who grew up in the 90s and watched a lot of 90s movies and loves 90s movies, this looks like not even straight to video. It just looks like a TV movie, like a TV special. Vegas Vacation. It has that feel to it. Everything about it feels cheap. I think the kids, I like Ethan Embry too, as an actor. I'm a fan. I don't understand how he's not 21. Like, I know the kids' age, I guess they change a lot, but like the parents are so old looking, and these kids are still not 21 yet. It's kind of weird.
This is the one where they do bring up the joke.
Yes.
Like, oh, we don't even recognize you anymore.
Yeah,
so,
I don't even recognize you guys. And now their daughter's like Hispanic. She's like Latina now. It's weird. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, the actress is, but I don't like any of the subplots except for the Ellen and Wayne Newton thing. I got a couple of chuckles out of that because he's weird. They made him like, he plays himself, but he's like super eccentric and really weird. Like the whole thing with making the pasta and stuff like that kind of made me giggle. But other than that, like the daughter is becoming like not really a strip, like a go-go dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rusty.
I don't like that subplot either.
Yeah, it's silly. and then cousin Eddie kisses his daughter on the and then it gets really gross. And this one's PG. Like this is the tamest one, and it has some of the creepiest stuff in it. Rusty wins a car every time he puts $1 in a slot machine. He wins a car. All for the payoff to be they could drive home in these cars. Like, okay, I guess. So yeah, I did not like this, and it just felt like a PSA about gambling, like why it's bad. Look what can happen if you gamble too much. Like, I don't know. I couldn't get into it. And again, I felt like I was watching a TV movie most of the time.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. That's a running joke with Eddie kissing his daughter. Because in Vacation 1, the daughter says, oh, my dad said I was a good French kisser. A good French kisser. So I was like, okay, so I guess they brought it back. Him kissing.
Well, they showed it this time.
Yeah, they showed it, which was even weird. But, okay, so Vegas Vacation. So my wife liked this one.
Oh.
And I looked at her and I said, what did you like about this movie? Because this movie, I did not like at all. It's not worse than European. I'll say that straight up. I enjoyed this one way more than European. European was just straight trash. This one had some moments that I did laugh because there was parts with Clark in the gambling. That was me. Like, that's straight me. Like, I'll take out our credit cards and I'll be like, hey, I go to the table and go crazy. So my wife was like, yeah, that is definitely you. When he, you know what? I'll tell the story mad quick. So we on the cruise, right? And our room is through the casino, right?
Oh, great.
So I told my wife, oh, man, I got to go get ice. So she said, all right, cool. So I ran through the casino and I sat at the table and I had to play and I hit a straight flush on Let It Ride. So it was like $5,000. So next thing you know, I was like, oh my God, I got to get ice. And when I looked back, she was there with the kids. And she was like, I thought you went to get ice. So I went, I'm cashing
I just won us $5,000.
I got this 5,000 instead. Isn't it better than ice?
Oh, dude, I heard it. But yeah, but that scene reminded me when he went, oh, I'll be right back. I go to the bathroom. And he got up and we put the thing on the roulette wheel. And then he lost. And he went, and then he ran back. But anyway, that's that. I did not like it. So I thought the jokes were just bland. I agree with Nate. It did feel like a straight to DVD movie. It did not feel like a big budget movie. 25 million, I could totally see it. It was pretty much free.
It was shot in Vegas.
Yeah,
it was like, probably
Wayne Newtons and all the
Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, and the Tigers, they had to feed them. So like, I don't know what other money in that. The joke with the son winning everything, I thought it was funny at times. I thought the funny thing that I laugh at was with the ID and giving the black guy's ID.
Oh yeah.
he was like, hey man, he goes, you gave me the wrong ID. And he flipped the board over and it was like this big thing. And I was like, oh, come on. They're going to fall for that Nick.
His name is what? Papa Giorgio? His last name is
Papa Giorgio.
Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Yeah. Nick. Yeah, it was Nick Papa Giorgio. Yeah. So it's so stupid. The orgy storyline was really whack. It was a really let down movie for me. I thought after Christmas Vacation, I thought it was going to be at a higher, I thought it would be better. But no, I thought it came out, it was just flat. It didn't work for me at all.
I'll say there's two parts that made me actually laugh. Two. One, give me some of the yellow. That made me laugh. That just, something about that sentence is hilarious to me. Give me some of the yellow. Because it's not a food. That's just a color. So that was good. And the other part that made me laugh was when they go to that weird casino that has like games like guess the number,
rock paper scissors,
rock paper scissors, and then he walks up to the guy and he's staring at him. He's like, no, 4, and the guy's like 7. He's like, like that made me laugh. That little scene. So those two parts, I got some laughs out of that. But that was about it.
Yeah. No, it was funny with with Eddie because he was like, Clark, I think you should quit while you're ahead, and he was like, we could win, and he went to like what the hell was it? Was it?
They did guess what's in the hand. They did guess what's in the hand.
That was funny when he was grabbing the guy's hand and he's trying to open it.
He's cheating.
He's a huge yeah. I thought that was funny.
They did war. Remember war?
Oh,
one hand, just one hand of war you got to pay for. So they did war, guess the number, guess the hand, rock, paper, scissors. Those are the ones I remember.
Yeah, that was funny. That scene was kind of funny. All right, Derek, what is your rating for Vegas Vacation?
I'm going to give this the same that I gave Vacation, but I will say maybe Vacation should be a little bit ahead. Okay. But I'm also going to give this a 4.
Whoa!
Damn. I'm gonna be by far the low man here. I gave this a 2 out of 10. I did not enjoy. I love that you loved it though. I just could not get into it.
I mean, maybe there's some nostalgia in there too, because I watched this one quite a bit, and again, anytime I see Ethan Embry, it's like, yes, I'm gonna like this.
It's my boy.
I give it a 2. I give it a 2 out of a 5. I thought it was. I gave it the 2 because it was better than European. So I was like, there's no way I could give this a 1 and tie it with European. European was just really bad. It's just like, no. I thought Vegas has certain moments, but I thought that was. Oh, my favorite part is when he's yelling at he was like, he got the family together. And he goes, Beverly. Not Beverly. He says, Ellen. He goes, Ellen. He was like, it's okay. I took the money out of our credit cards and all our bank accounts. She goes, how much did you spend? And he was like, $22,500. But who's complaining? I got the family back. She's like, no, Clark. And then the guy that dies, that one. Oh, I thought that was funny too.
Oh, yeah. That like lottery.
You all are laughing a lot to not like this movie.
Yeah,
him. I didn't laugh at that.
I just think there's certain moments in the movie that's actually pretty funny. But like in a whole, I don't think the movie, like, I don't know. I just feel like the movie just felt flat for some reason.
Yeah, I laughed twice. Give me the yellow, and that the guess the number part made me crack up. He's just like 7. And he gets so mad. That was funny. All right, so going to the chat, we got Ben Buster says Wayne Newton was most of the budget, which is weird.
Right.
Maybe he was still a big name back then, so
That's
maybe
true.
so. Jay says Christy Brinkley was back. That's right. Now she's a mom. That was a joke from the first movie. Kind of fell flat, but you could see the car seat the whole time. They're trying to hide that there's a baby back there, but you could see the car seat.
Right.
Jay says, now that you say that, Nate, it does feel like a TV movie. Yeah, it does. Ben said Sid Caesar was good in here. I don't know who that is, but okay. Tony says, as much as I love Vacation, this movie stinks. It doesn't have any of the charm and humor that made the first 3 great films. All right. Ben Buster says it seemed more of a PSA for Vegas. Tony says 3 out of 10 for me, and the worst one in the franchise by far. Jay says, I imagine that's how he said it when he wrote it. Jay says the jokes fall flat. Mega Mike, the movie man, is here. What's up,
Hey,
Mike?
Hey.
He says, I haven't seen Vegas Vacation. Will we get a 4K on that one? I hope not. I don't know, though. Ben says 3 out of 10. And then they're saying hello to each other. And there you go. That's
all right.
Wow.
Scoring. Jay, what did you give this one? Jay didn't put a score, but Jay put a score in there.
Jay did. All right. So guess what?
So that's why they didn't keep making them.
No.
For a while. Yeah, they took a break.
Didn't like it.
So
and I'm like, why don't they make more?
I can't wait for that next Vacation movie.
All right, so here we go. So you got 2015. They came out with a soft reboot, continuing sequel type movie where Rusty's now family is taking them to Wally World. So, oh boy. All right, let's go with. Go ahead, Derek, take it away. What did you think of this one? Now, this is the first time watch for me, and I assume
me too.
Oh, you too?
Not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw this already. Okay, so go ahead.
So, we continue that tradition where we have a brand new Rusty played by Ed Helms. So that's cool. And a new Audrey, played by
Leslie
Mann.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, she's almost like a cameo in it. But that's cool that they carried that tradition on. They didn't go back and ask Anthony or Galecki or anybody else or Embry to come in. But we did keep, I don't know if this is a spoiler. I think everybody knows. I know they kind of withhold it in the movie, but to see Chevy and Beverly pop back up and to keep them, even though they are definitely very much supporting more almost cameo-ish characters. So with this one, I felt like there were a lot of cameos in it. Chris Hemsworth is in it. And that's on the box, so I'm not revealing anything. It says it right there. But Chris Hemsworth is in it. He plays Audrey's husband.
Stone.
And this one, I felt like as I was watching it, I was like, this one is too over the top and the most over the top. And Nate, I think you were talking about how slapstick Christmas was. And as you were saying, I'm like, yeah, that one is slapstick. But I think maybe because everything's so practically done, where here you can see a lot of the over the topness is done with CGI and, green screen type stuff going on. But it also gets to the realm of science fiction with that car. Like that's like,
Yeah.
that was like science fiction. The car that they're driving, like, was so I think maybe it gave a bigger impact for when they get to the original vacation car. Like, let's make sure these people remember this weird, strange car. And then when we bring back the original one, it'll be a bigger punch. Where if it was just a standard car, maybe that punch wouldn't have been bigger. So they're putting so much attention on this science fiction level car, and it was distracting and weird and odd. Um, but I think this movie was missing some of the edge also that Chevy would bring. Ed Helms just as kind of playing Andy Bernard in a way, just goofy. But this movie made me laugh out loud more than any of them. I was howling, how loud I was laughing in the house at this. And my wife came home. She was like shopping as I was watching it. And I was like, this movie is so dumb, so stupid. But I have been cracking up. But I still don't know if I like it, even though it was having me laugh so loud. It reminds me of this movie called That's My Boy, with
Oh,
Adam
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like one of his best movies, but it makes me laugh maybe harder than any of them.
Mm.
And I feel like this
Mm.
movie is kind of the same way with it. Christina Applegate's good in it. I like, she does very good Helen, Ellen with Beverly D'Angelo. She does a very good job, of kind of being that straight person. But then they do give her, some unique
Debbie Do
qualities.
Anything.
Debbie Do Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
And the kids are both boys. Oh, and they address that too.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard of the first vacation. And like, well, this vacation that we're gonna go on is gonna be about the same, but with a few differences here and there.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
gonna stand on its own.
You stand on
What
its
he
own.
said.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you said you laugh because I'm not gonna lie, this movie makes me laugh. I don't. I mean, again, humor totally subjective. There's a lot of jokes in this movie that I laugh at. I will agree on some of your point. I don't like Ed Helms that much, and you didn't say that, but you said he's just playing Andy Bernard, and I agree. I hated him in The Office. The only thing I liked Ed Helms in was the first Hangover movie, and other than that, I've never really enjoyed him. So while I don't like his character that much in this movie, there's a lot of other things that make me laugh a lot in this movie. The
Yeah.
car, I saw Alex's face. The car, to me, when they first show up with the car, and there's rear view mirrors and then mirrors facing the mirrors, that's like a funny visual. It's like, what are those mirrors? What are the extra mirrors there for? You don't even know. And then when he's looking in the mirror, he sees himself in the mirror when that car explodes. Yeah, like that was funny. All the buttons is like, we're gonna push the muffin, and it's probably an explosion. Yeah, the top hat makes the windows blow out. Like the Japanese navigation voice.
It's just screaming.
He's just so mad. He's breathing hard. He's like, and the little like, thing on the thing is
Like,
going.
That stuff is so ridiculous.
It is. It's silly. It is silly, but it made me laugh. And the part that makes me laugh a lot is when they're going to the hot springs and the dude has the rat crawling on him, and they're talking. He's like, "Oh, what's your pet's rat?" He's like, "What rat?" Like, you didn't know there was a rat crawling all over him. Like, that part's funny. I like Chris Hemsworth in this. He's funny. But yeah, I do laugh at this. But I agree with you. I don't know if I like it. Like, as a movie, I don't love the story. I don't like Ed Helms.
Right.
I do like the brother, how the little brother's the bully of the older brother.
Yeah.
That's a funny concept. So there is humor that I enjoy. So I do laugh at it. But
that started to get old, so I'm glad they changed that up with the brother, because I was like, he was bullying him throughout the entire movie. I'm like, gosh, this is getting old quick. But then something happened, and then it kind of corrected.
Yeah, and
itself.
I like that. I do like, and I agree. I'm glad that it didn't go the whole movie, but while it's there, it's funny. But yeah, Ed Helms is just so awkward and weird. I do like the part at the dinner table at the beginning though, where like Keegan Michael Key's fighting with his son. He's like, "Come here!" And he starts trying to do it too, and he calls him the same nickname. He's like, "What? Why did you try to steal my nickname?" Yeah. Oh my gosh, that made me funny. So I mean, that made me laugh. So yeah, I think there's some good humor here, but I don't think it's a great film in like as a whole.
Oh man, I guess I'm gonna be the bad guy. This is a piece of shit. This movie's a piece of crap. It's not funny at all.
So you didn't even laugh. Okay.
I can't even say if I laughed. Honestly, I don't even remember some scenes that were even funny. Like I was just like, I want this movie to end. Like I was gonna shut it off 20 minutes into the movie. Like I thought it was really bad. And if I had to pay to go see this in the theater, I definitely would have walked out.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't feel. I guess you know what it is, and I guess because he plays Rusty. I personally believe they should have brought back the original Rusty if it's gonna be played
Anthony
by
Michael.
Yeah, it should have been him, or it should have been the guy from Big Bang Theory. To me, the guy from Big Bang Theory would have been better because he has that comedy of him.
And he's like bad age.
He is.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anthony Michael Hall's grandpa now.
Yeah, he's kind of old. We saw him in Halloween, and he was horrible. So I was like, so I don't know.
Well, it could have worked.
It could have worked. But I don't know. For me, this movie just fell flat. I couldn't get into it. Like the whole going to Wally World, I was like, okay, that's cool. You're an airplane pilot. Like you could go anywhere you want. You want to go to Wally World. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a missed opportunity. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I think they should have used this reboot, whatever the hell you want to call it, and they should have did it as a Christmas Vacation 2 and had the original mom and dad do their final Christmas vacation, like try to get the family together. And it's just so chaotic with, Rusty's kids and Audrey's kids and, like pretty much the Griswold family, like they all come back and it would have been funnier, right? I mean, to me, it would have been funnier. You have Eddie, right? And then Eddie's kids, you don't know what happens to them. One of them could be like a billionaire or something and they come in. Like something wacky and fun could have came out of that. Them going to Wally World didn't do nothing for me. I was like, they just cash grabbing the first movie. And I didn't think it was funny at all. I thought the car was fucking dumb. I was like, this is it's a dumb car.
It was.
It was like it had 2 gas tanks and it lost
It
gas
looked the same
like 2
from
seconds.
front and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I was like, come on. Like I don't know. It just I don't know. To me it didn't work. For me it didn't work.
And then they gave that joke that we keep talking about with the hot chick or whatever.
Yeah.
They gave that to Rusty this time, but they did give it to so not Rusty, but the new Rusty, the new kid.
Yeah.
His son.
Yeah, his son. But I did like that they brought it to Rusty also. But then she
Hannah, that was Hannah Jeter, Derek Jeter's wife.
Yeah, Derek Jeter's.
That was
blown up. Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense because in reality, when you watch the first one, they're just eye contact with each other. I'm like, damn, you could go off the road. Like,
it takes a long time before he almost crashes.
Yeah, exactly. So, to me, the joke did stand. I was like, okay, that was okay. I was like, holy crap! Like, they came out of nowhere when she got hit with the trip. So I was like, all right, fine. But as a whole,
and then Seal,
that was so dumb. Oh my God,
the Seal,
so stupid.
Yeah, did this come out before or after?
After what?
I'm gonna look it up because there was another similar. It came out after We're the Millers, and remember the kid in that movie? He sings TLC Waterfalls, and I feel like they were like that joke is really funny in that movie. Like that scene is funny, and that came out 2 years before this, and I feel like they were trying to copy the whole sitting in a car singing a 90s song. And I didn't like that part.
It was making me think of Step Brothers. Do you remember when they swing "Sweet Child of Mine"?
Yeah,
Step
maybe
Brothers?
even that. Yeah, like
I
don't like
World
that
started
joke.
it with Bohemian Rhapsody in the 90s.
Oh yeah, Wayne's World even
was the first one to do that. Like,
but Wayne's World is like a full-on performance of that song, whereas like in We're the Millers and in here, it's just like, hey, I used to like that song in the mid 90s, and then they're doing like a very dramatic but he's the only one. Nobody else in the car is like.
Right.
They're like, what are you? You're weird. And it felt like the same joke.
I did like though when I was not liking that at all, but then when they started to play the song, or when they're singing it on the roller coaster, I was like, okay, this is cool. Like the song matched the moment really well, so I guess they were building up to that. But then they tried to they aimed for a joke on everything, which I don't think you should do.
Agreed.
I think that's why, the Ghostbusters, that one other Ghostbusters movie sucks so much because they tried to hit a joke every single time. And that's kind of what they do, when they get stuck upside down. It was like you could have just let the thing go.
Yeah, you could have.
Right.
Yeah, they went all the way there for the roller coaster to malfunction. Like I was like, come on,
Yeah.
that was so.
Yeah.
I'll say this: one part that I did laugh. I'm not gonna lie. The one that I did laugh was when she went to the college dorm. And she goes, I'm gonna show these bitches
The chug run.
Yeah, the chug run. She goes, I
Yeah.
invented this. She goes, I'm gonna show these bitches, and I thought that was funny. I was like, okay, that was kind of, and I like Christina Applegate. I think when she
was
does,
throwing up.
yeah, when she does all those jokes, like those romantic comedies, I think she's really good in those. Like that's her sweet spot. I don't like Ed Helms. I never liked him as a comedian. So, but I still believe in my heart this should have been Christmas Vacation too.
I like when they're at the hotel and they go to take a shower. She's like, "Are those mushrooms?" And then he goes, "Let me grab this Brillo pad." And she's like, "That's not a
pube
Brillo
hairs?
pad. Those are pubes." he's like, "Who has this much?" And she's like, "I think it's different people. They're different colors." Like that whole part, and there's like a big red splash on the wall, like someone
Yeah.
died or something. Like
Oh, no,
that
it
Yeah.
was
blown
funny.
off or
Oh,
something.
Yeah, yeah. That
Oh
made
my
me laugh,
gosh,
too.
I was.
I had a lot of laughs in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I had
A
a lot.
lot of laughs for me.
Yeah.
Loud, uncontrollable laughs.
Charlie Day, when he's like, "Oh, look at him," he's like, "Oh, what the?" He's like, and the kid is like, I never did that." He does it like 4 times. Oh, and then he just jumps off the waterfall. Yeah, he's like, "What is wrong with this guy?" And last joke that made me laugh: the part where they go to the 4 corners, and then the cops show up, and it's Nick Kroll,
Different
Michael
jurisdictions.
Pena. Yeah, the chick from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and then they're like, "Get down, get down!" And then they all 4, like, they all get, and they're just laying there with the guns like pointed at each other. That
Oh,
part
when the
made me
guy when he put the gun in the dude's mouth and he was out running deeper, I was like, what? I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? I was like, it's so stupid.
laugh.
Oh
It's
my
funny,
god!
though.
All right, Darren. What
All
do you
right,
give
let's
this?
see.
What's your score on this one?
It's
Yeah.
so hard to score this because I do think it's dumb, but I laughed so much. So I'm just gonna give it a 3, just kind of sit in the middle because
Okay.
like there's the nostalgia for these actors. It's not there because the two that we've followed along, they're barely in it. They feel like cameos. Lots of cameos in this. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go 3. I want to go lower. I don't think I can go any higher, but I gotta go. I'm just gonna go 3.
Did you feel like I felt like I told my wife I was like if they're not gonna have the 2 original dudes in the movie, I think this would have been a perfect opportunity to have the the father go. We're gonna go along and take you to Wally World, and then they join the mom and dad. They
At
pull up
the
in that
very
car.
last bit of the
Yeah,
trip.
because their car broke, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, I got the perfect car for it." And they roll up, and he goes, "Dad, you have this car still?"
He's
what
like,
I
"Can we
mean?
take the
Like something-
Mitsubishi?" And he's like,
Yeah,
"No."
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that would have been, or and then you don't play the music in the beginning because then he goes, "You know what? It's time to play some tunes," and he presses the button and it plays the original holiday, road.
Holiday Road.
Holiday
Yeah.
Road, yeah.
So that could have worked. But anyway, go ahead, Nate. What you got?
I'm in this. We're on the same page here because I wrote down here. I gave this a 6 out of 10, which would equate to a 3 out of 5. So
Yeah.
6 out of 10 for me.
I gave it a 1 out of 5.
No, not surprised. Not surprised from
surprising. This is
the
a
way
piece
that
of
you
crap.
talked about it.
Yeah, I did not like this one at all. Ugh.
All right, let's see what the chat's saying. Bin Buster says, "I'm not an Ed Helms fan. This was a first time watch." Tony says, "Oh, here we go." Tony says, "Vacation 2015 is definitely a big improvement over Vegas. While not as good as the first 3 vacation movies, but it's a nice addition to the franchise with some great laughs and callbacks." Bin says, "Vacation 2015 needed more yellow stuff." Caveman says 7, and then he says 5. Maybe those are scores for some of the other movies. I'm not sure. Tony says directors John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein were nice additions to the franchise and would go on to have great careers, which is true. I'm surprised, Alex, because do you like Game Night? You like the movie Game Night?
I've never seen that.
Oh, well, we have it coming up on the podcast because it's kind of like an action comedy a little bit. But you loved Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
But
I love that one.
didn't
But
work
the
for
thing
you.
is with Dungeons and Dragons, like I play Dungeons and Dragons, and I think the way Dungeons and Dragons was, it was kind of it was like a fun adventure. Like this
Yeah.
wasn't fun. I just felt like they were trying too hard. Like
This
if they
definitely
didn't,
felt like a first movie
yes,
for
like,
what they would go on to do.
like if this felt more of like the first Vacation but more modern take of it, I would have been like, oh, okay. I would have been like, you know what, that's actually kind of funny. But they tried so hard with the stupid cars and you know,
nudity returned.
Oh, and the nudity.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
This one got nudity and some funny like nudity type gags too as well. They used it in a humorous way. Okay, Tony says 8 out of 10 for him. Fan of he is a fan of Ed Helms and he loves the Hangover trilogy. Jay says I saw this once. I found the movie okay. I laughed a little, but it was better than Vegas Vacation. All right. Tony says, I actually like Ghostbusters 2016, so take that.
Oh, that's a piece of crap.
Ben Buster says, I laughed when it was over, and I wasted my time. He gives this a 2 out of a 10. I thought Jason Sudeikis would have been a better choice. See, but then that's like We're the Millers, and that's kind of like a fake vacation movie. So that's what I mean. Maybe they were inspired by that movie a little bit, because that was like a big hit.
Yeah.
And Jay gave this
that.
2 out of 5.
We're
the Millers is funnier
it's
than
a
this.
funny, it's way better than this one.
Yeah.
But you know what?
But it's a vacation. It's a road movie.
Yeah, like, but my thing is like, they could have just got the guy from Big Bang Theory. I think he would have been funny as Rusty because he played Rusty. So why wouldn't?
Yeah, I think they're trying to keep with that tradition of changing out the Rusties.
That's true.
But
they can't bring back anybody because they got to be different because that's the joke. I
guess.
I don't know, but if they were going to, he probably would have been the choice.
He would have been fun. I think he would have been way better than this guy because he played the character. Yeah, I don't know.
He's doing one note. He's the same in every single thing he's in.
And I felt also, and I guess I got more annoyed because Audrey and Rusty, they didn't do much together on screen. Like, they didn't do nothing, like them talking about their history or nothing like that. It was just like, you're coming to my big-ass mansion and blah, blah. And I was just like, I told my wife, I was like, doesn't this feel weird if I'm going to go see my sister? Wouldn't you have funny gags with your sister? Like something dumb?
Right.
Or,
they did feel like strangers almost.
Yes.
They didn't feel like they had a history together.
Yeah.
No, it felt like Chris Hemsworth's character was his brother or something. Like, he had way more interactions with them.
And defending him.
Right.
Like, so I don't know. I just felt like those characters didn't feel like they're brothers and sisters.
I feel that, and it's weird because they cast Leslie Mann, who's funny, and didn't really give her anything to do. So
right, and that again, just kind of a cameo. Like, hey, you recognize this person?
Yeah, because he was big at that time, 2015. Chris Hemsworth was.
Oh yeah,
big.
This was after 2 Avengers movies, 2 Thor movies at this point. So
yeah. So I was just like, oh, that's kind of another waste of opportunity. But okay. All right, let's go to the
ranking time.
Ranking time.
Here we go, baby.
All right. We know how to play this game already. All right, Derek. So you're gonna pick your least favorite all the way up to your favorite.
One at a time.
One at a time. Yeah, you don't go all crazy. I'm gonna put them there.
Okay.
And then you say why you put it number 5, and then we move it along. We go to myself. I will go to Nate and then myself. Same order. So you go first. Which is your worst movie in the franchise?
So worst for me is European Vacation. A lot of it has to do with Audrey and just maybe it's the print I have, but it just the transfer. It looks like it looks bad. It doesn't look like a good movie.
All right.
Not as funny as the rest.
All right, there you go. All right, Nate, what do you got? What is your number 5?
Okay. It's funny you say that about that, by the way, Derek. I had to rent this one, and I rented it in HD, and it looked horrible, even in HD.
Yeah.
So
I had to fix that one.
Garbage. My number 5 is actually Vegas Vacation. I was did not like it. It felt like a TV movie and a commercial for going to Vegas. And I love Vegas in real life. I've been 3 times. Great time, but did not like that movie at all.
All right. My number 5 is going to be 2015 Vacation. That was a piece of crap. I did not like this movie at all.
Look at that. All different.
And I feel like, and again, I guess the interactions with brothers and sisters wasn't there. So for me, if it was there, I would have been like, oh, okay, this feels like a vacation. It does not feel like. It just feels like they just threw Audrey in to be big and famous, and her brother's a loser airplane pilot. And so, it didn't work for me. And I thought Chevy Chase and Beverly should have had more of a bigger cameo than what they did. So, that's just me. So, yeah. All right, Derek, you're number 4.
Wait, sorry. Real quick for the chat. Oh, there's only 3 people ranking with us. So Ben
right.
Buster he got the same as you, Alex.
Okay.
2015. Tony has the same as me, Vegas, and Jay has the same as Derek. So everyone has a partner on this. He has European as number 4.
All right, Derek, you're number 4.
Okay, 4. I think I'm gonna go with the 2015 Vacation.
Okay.
Ooh.
It is like it's actually super laugh out loud funny. I've only seen it the one time, so I don't know how it would hold up, but I was cracking up, but at the same time thinking this movie is not good. Which is weird. How can I think? That's the weird part.
What a conundrum.
I feel like I've never really had that strong of I don't like this movie, but I am cracking up during it. It was very weird. Very weird.
I'm really getting pissed off that I'm laughing at these jokes.
Yeah.
Why is it funny?
You know, that's so funny. I don't know if there's a movie like that's like it hits me like that, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of enjoy it, but it's like a piece of crap that everyone hates it.
I bet you if I thought about it, I have those where I'm like, man, I know that this movie's not good, and I don't like it, but I also laugh when I watch it. I would have to think about it though, but I'm sure it exists. All right, for me, number 4 is European Vacation. I know you guys hated it more than I did. I mean, I still hated it, but I did laugh at a few more things than Vegas, and that's literally what I was working with here because I didn't like either one.
All right. Well, there is no other number 5 for me to put this one in, so this has to go in number 4, and it's gonna be European Vacation. I did not like this. This movie was atrocious for a sequel movie. Horrible. I think Christmas Vacation should have been number 2 if you're gonna tell me, but
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I watched it second because I thought it was the second one.
Oh my god! And the funny thing is, Christmas Vacation looks way better than any of the other movies. It looks way better. It looks like a cinematic movie compared to the other ones.
Especially on 4K.
The first one in 4K does look really good, but it looks older. It looks early 80s, but it's clean. But Christmas looks more modern.
Yeah, it looks cinematic. Like just it looks like it's made for the theater.
Yes.
that low budget. Okay.
All right, Ben Buster has number 4, same as me and Alex, European Vacation. Jay is going with Vegas Vacation as number 4, and Tony is going with the 2015 version of Vacation, so same as Derek.
Oh, okay. All right, Derek, you're number 3.
This is tough for me here because the next 2 films I gave the same rating, so I don't know. I'm having a tough time of what to put here. I think actually though, I think what I'm gonna do is go with the original Vacation.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna go original Vacation 3.
A controversial list.
That's very
I like
very
it.
interesting. I love this. It reminded me when I put Aliens 3. Everyone went nuts.
Oh yeah,
on me.
they were like,
Remember
what
that?
are you talking about?
You're crazy, man. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, Nate.
Number 3 for me is the 2015 version. I mean, I laughed way more at that than European or Vegas. Okay. And for a comedy, at minimum, if you get me to laugh more, I will like you better. So I will put it at number 3.
All right. Well, this is not bad. This could have been my number 4 on the list. But since we're going down, this is my number 3. I thought this had some funny moments and stuff, so I gave it and you know what? It would have been cool too if Rusty had to drive through Vacation and they went, "Oh my god, it's Nick Papa Chulo," or whatever his stupid name.
Papa Giorgio.
Yeah, Papa Giorgio. You know what I mean? Like he would have stopped off somewhere and it would have been like the Nick Papa, like a joke with that.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
Why didn't they
missed
catch in on
opportunity.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Like his face is on like a billboard, the only man to win 4 cars win $1.
Yeah.
One of them was a Dodge Viper. If he would have had a Dodge Viper, that would
a Hummer. He had a Hummer, a Dodge
Viper,
Viper,
a Dodge Viper, a Honda like Civic or something, and a Mustang. The other one was a Mustang.
Yeah. So it could have been like, and it would have been funny because it would have been you could have had it with the kid from the original one that did it. And it would have been him going, look, honey, it was me when I was young, but it's not him. It was the original kid.
I like that. That would have been a good one. Yeah. All right, Ben Buster number 3 He didn't pick a number 3. He went from 5 to 4 and 2 and 1. So he does not have a number 3, but I can deduce what it is. It is Vegas. His number 3 would be Vegas Vacation as well. Jay's is the 2015. So same as me. And Tony, European, all the way up at number 3.
Wow.
Tony. Yes.
Nice. Man. All right, Derek, you're number 2, which will spoil you.
Where Derek's going with this one, I know.
Yeah. So I think here's the thing. Maybe Vacation, the original, is a better film, like when you think of like the sum of its parts. But I think when it comes to Vegas Vacation, I like parts so much in that film that maybe it brings it above Vacation, which is better in the sum of its parts. So I'm gonna go Vegas Vacation. I think that's what puts it over. Maybe also just, growing up idolizing Ethan Embry. Anytime he was in a movie, like I was like, man, I wish I was that guy. I wish I was that guy.
All right, Vegas Vacation it is. Nate?
Interesting. Okay. My number 2. Oh, this is tough. I almost, even though I didn't give them the same score, I almost like them equally, but I'm going to go with the original for number 2, National Lampoon's Vacation. I think it's funny. I think it's well written. I think all the performances are spot on. So yeah, I like that movie. It's good.
Yeah, my number 2 is Vacation. Hands down. I think Harold Ramis was again, I'm not going to be biased because he did play Egon, but I think in terms of his work of his directing and writing, I think he was a genius writing comedy movies. Like, if you really look at his body of work, analyze this, analyze that, is mad funny. If you ever seen those movies, he did those. Bedazzled was really funny and was good.
I like Bedazzled.
Yeah, and he directed that. So I don't know if he wrote it, but he directed. Like, he had a great eye for directing comedies. So
a lot of Office episodes, or a handful anyway.
I love The Office too.
Yeah,
we're Office fans around here.
Yeah, so I think so I think Vacation. I liked it too. Vacation was it was funny. I thought it was cool for his time.
Yeah.
Unique.
All right.
Too. So
absolutely, Bin Buster number 2 agrees. The original National Lampoon's Vacation. Jay's number 2 is the original Vacation, and Tony's number 2 is the original Vacation.
All right. I mean,
there's only one choice for literally. You just drop it in for all of us, and we'll just say why. Because there's only one movie left.
Yeah,
Eddie's Christmas Vacation. What was that one?
Christmas Vacation 2, Eddie's Island Adventure.
Right, that's what we all have up there.
Yes, that's actually the secret. Number 1 is Christmas Vacation. Well, he actually goes on a vacation, so that's cool.
That's the winner of the rankings is Christmas Vacation won it. So Derek, why number 1 you feel is the best one out of all the other vacation films?
I think it's the funniest and the most heartfelt. Like, I could tear up in a lot of these parts. Like at the end, especially now being a dad, like at the end, like when he's just like looking at it, all he wanted was the best family Christmas. And at the end, he like kind of looks off and he's like, I did it. And I'm like, I probably had a teardrop once in a while, every other year, maybe a teardrop's in that moment. Yeah, I don't know. It's very emotional. I like it, and it's hilarious, and it has nostalgia. So it's like hitting me in all different directions.
All right, Nate.
Yeah, I have no nostalgia for any of these. So as a newbie, I just think this one has the best setups and payoffs humor-wise. I love Christmas. So you add Christmas to anything, and it's automatic plus. Just the Christmas time, Christmas music, snow, lights, trees. I'm a sucker for it. But yeah, real laugh out loud moments. The sled, when the grandpa lights the cigar and there's like an explosion in the background. Like just little gags like that crack me up. So I do think it is rightfully at the top for me.
Yeah, I picked it because I think it's just a great film overall. At the end of the day, I think it's a funny movie, very emotional at times. All he wanted to do is have a great Christmas, and everything just keep falling apart throughout the whole thing. And I still always remember that I always just love it when they lined up and he's kissing them and stuff, and then Eddie. To me, it's just one of the funniest moments because it's always when you have a family member shows up to your house when you don't invite them. It feels like that when you're throwing a party. You're like, where the hell did you just get an invite?
I want to
from?
say something that you just said. The best running joke in all these movies is every time Eddie tries to kiss Ellen,
Oh,
she
she's moving
dodges
around?
it. Every single movie. She dodged it in the first movie. She dodged it in Christmas. And even in Vegas, he goes to, and she's like,
Yeah.
going like that. Whoever thought to keep doing it, genius. It made me laugh. I was looking for it, and they did it every time. I loved it.
Well, one thing that they did, I thought that worked in Vegas, where I give credit to Vegas, was when Clark took care of his family because he didn't have money and he got them gifts and blah, blah, blah. Where in Vegas, he goes, you know what, Clark? You took care of me and I have money. I'm going to give it to you. But he has to dig it up because he didn't know where it was.
And spam cans and stuff in the yard.
Oh, man. And then when his eyes went all over, he went... he was talking to him and he was just like, he went ploop. And he was just like,
See, it's a funny movie.
there's some funny moments. There's some funny moments.
Didn't like that, but okay. Ben has number 1, Christmas. Jay, number 1, Christmas. Tony, number 1, Christmas. Ben says, Alex, you and him have the same exact list.
Nice.
Maybe the first time in history that someone had the same exact as one of
me.
us.
That's true.
As any of us.
Yeah.
But, like, the other ones are, to be fair, the other ones, like Alien had 9 movies and Halloween had 13. It's kind of hard to knock 13 out of 13. Maybe with it because it's 5, it's a little easier. But there you go. So everyone that participated, thank you for sharing your lists. I will say, this was an easy one to do. I watched them all in one day because they're only 90 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So on Friday, I was off work. I got through. I needed to take a break because I was a little vacationed out, but I got through all of them. 90-minute movies, perfect runtime.
Yeah.
It took me a few days to watch this. Well, it was hard because of the kids because they were home most of the time because of the voting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they didn't have school most of the time, so they were running around. Like today, I finished watching 2015 before we went live. I was like, I had to watch.
Oh,
it.
wow.
Yeah, we went to an event, so I had to come back. I was like, I had to put it on. I went bloop. And
That's
I
why
was
you
like, all
hated it, because you were like in a rush.
It was
You didn't have time to
fresh.
let it like marinate.
No, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. I don't. It marinated.
You need to be
really well.
marinated in 2015. That's the only way. It's the only way to like it.
God. Oh man! All right, now it's time to reveal the next.
Ooh.
The next franchise that we're gonna be doing. Tiana Loves
Yes.
Movies is gonna be joining us for this one.
First time guest, Tiana
First
Loves Movies.
time.
Excited to have
Nice.
her on. First woman to do a ranking with us. So that's going to be a
Yes.
lot of fun.
All right, so the next ranking is gonna be on November 24th. Okay, right, Nate?
Correct.
Okay, good. It's November 24th.
That is the correct date.
Yeah, he got the correct, then I know I'm right. Okay, so November 24th, we're going to be back. And of course, we're going to be ranking the American Pie franchise. Now, we're not going to do the entire ones that went straight to DVD. We're going to be doing American Pie 1, American Pie 2, American Wedding, and of course, American Reunion. Those are going to be the 4 films we're going to be ranking live with Tiana. So, yeah, I can't wait. Like I said, I'd never seen Reunion, but I've seen the first 3. So,
I
it's
will
been
say,
ages, too.
Before
That'll
we
be
do
fun.
this, before we do this one, I got to say, some of these are seminal movies for me. I was in middle and high school when most of them came out. So now we're talking about like I was 12 when the first American Pie came out. I had no business watching it, but you know who saw it? Me. And so I'm interested to. I don't rewatch these. I haven't seen them in years, so I am looking forward to watching it as an adult to see if, like, Derek had the nostalgia for like Vegas, like if American Pie 2 still hits for me, because I remember liking it, but I feel like I may not like it now. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to doing these movies.
I think I was a freshman when the first one came out, if I remember right. So they were coming out while I was in high school.
Yeah, I think I was in 7th grade, and then I was definitely in high school when American Wedding came out. I believe I was a senior, so I went with my cousin to watch that one, and then Reunion I saw, like, that came out when I was an adult. So this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Like I said, I haven't seen these in ages, so it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm one brand new watch for me, and then the 3 revisiting. So it's gonna be a fun time sitting down and watching.
John Cho is
Oh.
my favorite running gag in all those movies.
MILF. He's the best.
He
All right.
invented it.
Tony, never seen any of these movies, he says. So this will be a first-time watch when he follows along with us. So, Tony, you got 2 weeks to watch 4 movies. Plenty of time.
Heads up, Tony. This movie has a lot of nudity.
He's going to love it. He's going to love it.
Oh, no,
Remember,
I'm just saying heads up. Just in
that's
case.
a good heads up for him. He likes that. He's going to pop these in tonight. He's going to start watching them. And then Ben says, nice. You don't need to see anything past Reunion. You only need to know that Jim's dad is in each one. Well, Jim is, they're all in. Well, he's talking about the straight to DVD ones.
Spin-offs too. Yeah.
No, we're not doing those craps. Don't worry. Cal says American Pie. Yes. And Jay says a 12-year-old watching Pie for it. You know it, Jay. You know that I saw this movie. Cal says 2 and 3 are both classics. So looks like we got some people are excited to rewatch it. And Tiana picked this. I was on a raunchy comedy stream with her. And she loves her some raunchy comedy. So she was like, give me those American Pie movies. I'm on with you guys. So I'm looking forward to having her on the show finally.
All right, Derek, plug in your stuff.
Oh, yeah. My channel is called Pure Hangout. I just went through October. I watched a horror movie a day based on my Halloween advent calendar and then reviewed each one that I watched. Most of them were first-time watches, except maybe 3 or so. So if you want to take a look at that catalog, that was everything I posted in October. And right now, just kind of doing a lot of random rankings, which is common on my channel. Random films behind me and then rank them. So yeah, my channel's called Pure Hangout, and I'm also on Instagram, also called Pure Hangout. I don't post very much there, but I like to see what everybody else is doing and like everybody else's posts.
There you go. All right,
there you go. Follow him if you don't already. What do we got coming up? Okay, we have a lot of videos coming out this week, actually. I started doing this on TikTok, and then we're gonna have a little bit longer form here on YouTube. I'm doing my top 5 favorite movies from every year that I've been alive. So I've seen a lot of people do like the top 1, like my favorite movie from this year. I'm doing 5. So
wow.
Yes, born in 87. So this week, Alex is gonna be dropping, because I don't drop videos. I just make them and send them to him. He'll be dropping my first year, 1987, my top 5 favorite movies from the year of my birth. Alex is gonna be unboxing some stuff, and I am going to be seeing Red 1. That will be the out of the theater review for this week. Red 1 with The Rock and Christmas. Yes.
Yeah. So before we close, I just want to say we got some new content coming out. We haven't do channel updates. We don't do channel updates. It's just annoying to do that shit. We
just do it.
Shit. Yeah, we just do it, and then people go, "Oh, you." So the new stuff coming onto the channel is pretty much I'm gonna be unboxing a lot of my stuff that I never opened. I haven't even opened in a while. So I'm gonna be running through all my John Wick numbered sets and people are gonna be like, "How many copies do you have of this movie?" But I'm gonna be going through all that stuff. I did the Logan jacket unboxing when I got the Logan jacket. I did what the hell was it? The John Wick one. I unboxed that. Yes, where I compared the Dolby Vision to the HDR 10 version of John Wick. Dolby Vision blew the other one out the water. I'm just be honest with you on that one. This week I'm gonna be doing White Christmas. I'm gonna be doing a breakdown on the DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K, and see if you upgrade from Blu-ray to 4K. I've been enjoying doing those, and I've been enjoying to do it for a long time. It's just that I just get into the habit of I just be like, I don't want to do this, and then I just take down all the videos. Like I have so many. Yeah, I do.
There's no other way to describe that. I just get tired of doing it, and I stop.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just like, oh my god, but. I enjoy doing them, so I'm gonna start doing a lot of Dolby Vision versus HDR content on these movies and see, because I remember watching Mask of Zorro, the HDR 10 version. I was like, this is a horrible transfer, and everyone's like, oh my god, it's the best version of Zorro. I was like, no, it's not. It's like soft blurs all over the place, but I felt like the Adobe Vision cleared it up and made it 10 times more in depth. So I'm going to show off some scenes that I didn't like on the HDR10 and then compare it with the Dolby Vision. So you're going to get a lot of that. I'm going to do a lot of Lego builds. I have tons of Lego sets that I have not opened. The Back to the Future car, the Ecto 1 from Afterlife. I have.
He's going to build it in a time lapse.
Pretty much, yeah.
You're gonna see him going like this.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty much time lapse. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing time lapse of that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I have a lot of new stuff. I know Saturdays I'm gonna be doing a lot of people wanted to know what my favorite directors are, so I'm gonna do my top 5, top 10 directors that I enjoy watching. So I'm gonna drop that Saturday.
We're gonna be the plan, guys, is like
yeah.
4 videos a week. So 2 from me, 2 from Alex. That's the goal. Keep us to it. If you guys like it, let us know. Hey, keep them coming. You know, we appreciate comments. We read them all and try to reply to all of them if we can. So, you know, let us know if you're enjoying it. So for me, you're getting top 5s, and out of the theater reviews from Alex, 4K breakdowns and unboxings, as well as also top 5s in whatever category he wants to do.
And DC reviews. I gotta finish that.
You gotta finish that. Yeah, you got a long way to go too. Like 4 more movies came out since you gotta watch. Joker 2, you gotta add that. Anyway, all jokes aside, yeah, that's what we got coming up. A lot, and hopefully you guys like it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of content. Yeah, but
it's good. You know, content is fun. Content.
It is. It's just
And go watch Derek's content as well. He has a lot, and it is good. Are you doing Criterion? Any Criterion stuff? Because it's the sale.
Well, actually, I need to get into that this month, and then December I'll have my Christmas advent calendar, so I'm going to have a Christmas movie a day. Basically, what I do, same thing I do in October, except for it's Christmas movies.
That's great.
But yeah, I probably maybe Tuesday I might hit up Barnes and Noble because I haven't made it out yet to get any Criterion, so I need to do that this month. Half off,
before that sale's over.
You're behind. I am not buying anything this month, so I'm way behind. But I've already seen people like the day it dropped. There, at Criterion Hall. There it is.
Yeah. Usually I try to get out there sooner, but been busy.
You're busy. Yeah. Exactly. You're busy.
You don't want to pay those $50 for a Blu-ray.
It's 50% off MSRP. They got everybody with that one.
Oh, geez. All right. Till then, guys, the links are down below for Pure Hangout. And, of course, throughout the week, there's going to be videos dropping. Enjoy them, watch them, share, link, do all that stuff. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Same handle on both. It's Geeks, the letter N, and then Flicks. Geeks and Flicks are TikTok and on Instagram. And other than that, that's pretty much it, right? Pretty much we're good. All right, guys, thank you so much for everyone joining us. And, of course, everything's going to be time-stamped, so you guys can join in wherever you guys want to go and enjoy the video. Till then, be awesome to each other and geek out.
Thanks for having me on.